Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met Monday in Sharm el-Sheikh with Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak. Netanyahu called Mubarak a strong leader who fights for his country and his people, as well as for the establishment of peace. The meeting between the two took place a few days after a restricted report revealed that inspectors for the International Atomic Energy Association found particle traces of weapons-grade uranium in Egypt in 2007 and 2008. Shalom to Tzvi Mazel, former Israeli ambassador to Egypt.
Hello.
So Prime Minister Netanyahu met with President Mubarak. What is the significance of this meeting?
Well, it's a very important meeting, absolutely. It's by tradition that new prime ministers of Israel do meet with President Mubarak in the first weeks after they have been appointed. Egypt is a very important country in peace with Israel, and that I think, and everybody believes that Egypt is important for all the issues now at stake in the Middle East. So this is a very important meeting because Mubarak is going to find a way to speak to him and to present the main problems and to establish relations of working relations for the future.
And in general, how would you define Egypt? Friend, foe, something in the middle?
Egypt is a friend. There are some problems we know. We speak about cold peace because the peace is not very warm. We would like it to be much warmer, absolutely. Yeah, but still, we should not forget that the peace has stood very firmly through 30 years. 30 years is quite a long period, and went also through many crisis, like in Lebanon with the Palestinian Intifada. It means that the peace between Israel and Egypt has a very important basis even for the Egyptians themselves. So Egypt is a friend after all.
Now, how about the attitude of Mubarak's leadership towards Netanyahu's government, specifically towards Foreign Minister Lieberman? Where do you see this going?
Well, I think that there is a lot of noise, but it comes mainly from the press. For the press, it was a big feast to speak about Lieberman, about a new rightist government. But, I mean, Israel is a democratic country. We have elected freely the parties we wanted to be at power. We have now a new government. The Minister of Foreign Affairs is Mr. Lieberman. I think that Egypt accepts it. Egypt knows very well that it had to deal with the government, the present government of Israel. So now Netanyahu is going there and sitting at this moment with President Mubarak. But I think that also the Minister of Foreign Affairs will go at a certain time to Egypt because he is the representative in foreign affairs for Israel in front of Egypt. So a lot of exaggeration, but this is the way we live in democracy with a free press.
Now, we mentioned the report about evidence of nuclear weaponry found in Egypt. How do you relate to this? You know, we're dealing today with Iran. Could our close neighbor be posing the same threat?
Yes, we have heard a bit. It was in the press that some small items of enriched uranium were found 2 years ago somewhere in Egypt near nuclear reactors. Well, it comes from a report of the International Agency for Atomic Energy in Vienna. It's difficult to give an appreciation of the problem. We know very well that Egypt has signed the Treaty of Non-Proliferation of nuclear weapons in 1969, it was, I think. And then Mubarak himself came out a few years ago with an initiative of demilitarized Middle East from nuclear weapons. So to believe that Egypt has started in secret a program of enriching uranium to the level of military use, it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. Still, there are some proofs that something had happened. We don't know yet. Let us wait and see what are the results of the inquest being now carried out in Vienna by the International Atomic Energy Agency.
Practically, in terms of resources and knowledge, does Egypt have what is necessary to develop nuclear weapons?
Well, You know, what we know about the nuclear facilities of Egypt is that they have two small research reactors. One was built in 1961 by the Russian, and the second one was built in 1998 by Argentina. Now, these are reactors for research. Using nuclear energy for civilian use. It's not for military use. And the uranium used in this kind of reactors is very low, about 5% or 3%. But when you've been carrying research for a long time, you acquire the technology. It's absolutely so. I think that Egypt has an infrastructure of technology to develop nuclear energy. Absolutely, Egypt, if it starts a new program, and it's going to start a new program to build a nuclear reactor for electricity. It was proclaimed by Mubarak 2 years ago. Egypt will be able to use it in small infrastructure of research for this, absolutely. So we have to wait and see what are the result of all these rumors that we just heard. But anyway, in Egypt there is a small infrastructure of nuclear research, and that's important, and we should know about it.
Zvi Mazel, former Israeli ambassador to Egypt, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome.